It's all red. It's all red, so you can tear the hat up, bro.
Miss Jackson calling me right now. Shout out to everybody jumping on right now. We just setting up. Bear with us. We'll be with you real quick. Miss J just called me. Yo, vibes with CJ. Yo, the D. Shout out to D. Excuse us. We just setting up. We setting up. Bear with us.
My son on too. She said she can't hear, so it's not.
They can't hear? Y'all can't hear?
It's not on.
Who can't hear? Who said they can't hear? Can't hear. Y'all can't hear? It's on the set. It's saying it's working.
Can you hear?
Can anybody hear us? He said, "Your was good." Oh, CJ must have heard us.
I can hear.
All right, cool,
All right.
cool. Yeah, I see the set. I see the waves. I see everybody. Shout out to everybody. He said I could. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I spoke Brooklyn.
I'm Nate.
And we back with another Dungeon Talk. Well, I feel like I'm so in front of you, bro. I wanna, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I might need to look you in your eyes, bro. I can't be in front of you. I gotta look back. I don't wanna, come on, man. But shout out to everybody jumping on, man. Whatever you on, we here, we vibe. You know, we bring living room conversation right to the phone, man. So I'm glad we back again today, man. We were talking just in setup. Briefly, you know, like we never really plan. We don't plan what we're gonna talk about. But I was telling him like, yo, there's a culture right now of like people saying they want to work, but they don't really want to work. They want your work. You know what I'm saying? They want your work. They want to take your joint and catapult. And I'm seeing this more than ever, man. Like I'm seeing it more than ever. D saying she still can't hear. Log out and log back. She can't hear. I'm over here like log out and log back in. She can't hear. She can't hear. You want to text her or something?
Let me see.
But there's a culture of that, man. Like, and I know I'm not the only one experiencing that. I know a lot of people are experiencing this culture of like people just taking. People just taking. Shout out to everybody. He said, yeah. Thank you, Renegade Revolver. He put in there. Shout out to Golden State of Mind. If y'all don't know, shout out to Golden 562 SMG. Yo, vibes with CJ in here too. If y'all don't know, the tour is live and direct. Jump onto the Golden State of Mind tour page for some information. If you're an artist, there's a lot of opportunities that you might want to tap into. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But trust and believe is really dope. So
I'm getting on that tour, bro.
You getting on?
I'm getting on that tour. I'm getting on that tour. I'm telling you, and my album dropping.
Oh, and the album.
And the album.
What's the title? What's the name?
Stop playing.
Stop. my man, Stop Playing is out soon. Coming to you.
I ain't playing. I think it's a game.
Nah, most definite. My man said he tapping in. If he saying he tapping in, y'all most definitely tapping, man.
I'm tapping in. I'm not playing.
He said, "Come on, Nate."
No, I ain't playing. Yeah, they playing around. My album coming out. Stop playing.
And I will say this as well.
Look, they said, "What's your rap name?"
Yeah. What's the name? What's your artist name?
I don't know. I ain't come out with a name yet, but I know I'm coming out. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I've been around too many rap dudes, and my bars is coming up. I'm telling you.
You know what Nate tired of? He tired of hearing what he don't like. He gonna start spinning his own joints.
I'm telling you. I'm about to write my own joint. I think I could do it, man. I'm telling you, man. I think I could do it, Spud. I'm telling you.
Right now, just playing off of what you just said, the rap game. Artists, what do you feel is artists' biggest downfall?
Truthfully, I think a lot of artists ask for money. They ask for money, you know. The money is like a problem for a lot of rappers. It's a lot of, you know, a lot of people have to invest in themselves, which a lot of people can't. And the people that are all on, they want you to invest money into them, which the song can't come out. The song can't even come out if you do a feature.
Yeah.
with a famous person. You know, a lot of people, like you say, they don't know the rule. You know, there's a lot of things to do before you do a song with a person to see if it do clear.
Do clear.
And a lot of these guys and artists ask for money, man, and money kill it. Money kill everything.
I see what you're saying. Like, I think artists should get paid for their dues, right?
Yes.
I'm a big believer in that. But I do see sometimes people don't understand the depth of what you can maximize without money. And sometimes that messes up what you can maximize. Because now it's just about the initial bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to keep it real with me. Miss J just joined. Miss J, you called me a few times. I got the phone on TikTok. But I'm going to take me, for example, right? A lot of what I got right now, the positions I'm in, a lot of people would have messed it up. You know why? Because they would have asked for bread. Bro, I did some consulting for free. For free. Sometimes I walked into Def Jam on the late night in Massive Pill's studio, and I told Sincere, I said, yo, we did one whole year. Charge nothing. That was our goal. Our goal was we're not charging nothing for an entire year. You know what we wanted? We wanted access and to show resume that what we could do. And we did one whole year. Matter of fact, it was more than 1 year. But 1 year we designated that we weren't going to charge. No matter what was requested. We were going to do it for free. Yo, you know how many people would have been like, yo, you bugging. That's
but
Def Jam.
that's the problem though, Spud. You see, you was dedicated to do it for free to get where you was. A lot of people don't want to take the time to invest in themselves and do things for free. That's like a show. If you could do it for free just to get the exposure, nah, I'm hot. You hot to yourself. Nobody knows you. You have to invest into yourself. People think it's just gonna be overnight. It don't work like that. It doesn't work. You know, you have to invest into your craft. Everything that you do. It's just not gonna be put on a platter. If you could do it, if you do things for free, a lot of things come back at you with money. Cause you took your time and hard work to do it for free.
Now, the twist for that, right? And this was something that I had to realize for myself, right? You know, a lot of the things that we want to pay for, we want to be paid for, we want free. And I used to look at music like that, like ripping music and access to music. Like when that Napster whole thing came out, I was watching artists, and I never was there when Napster came out. I was locked up. But when I was locked up and I was hearing artists and everybody just ripping music and sharing, and then I was like, but then how could you as an artist want to put out music for people to buy? It just was blowing my mind. And we get into that consumer state of accessibility that a lot of the things that we do, we want to get paid for, but we don't want to pay for the same thing. And that mindset, if you take a whole community of that mindset, ain't nothing going to be done. Because everybody's looking to get paid for something that they don't want to pay for.
Listen, even if they did pay for it, it don't work out majority of the times though, Spud. You know, a lot of people do things because they think it's gonna work. It don't work. People pay for the name. People pay for the name. Oh, I gotta join with this dude. But can you drop it? Can it come out? Can it go forward? Then these artists is now, oh, I put you on my story, on my IG story. Give me 15. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all can't be serious, man. That's why I'm saying the people that do like have a platform to do what they need to do, why you charging people? You was in a predicament too. You know, I think about the music. When you know people, those are the worst people to go to. Cause they're not gonna actually help you do what you need to do to succeed.
You're not.
And that's sad.
It's rare. It's really
that's
rare.
sad though.
It's rare.
You know people. Yo, I know them. Yo, you don't remember the time? Nah, there's no time. Everything is the money. Money's gonna change you regardless. Everybody does something for $1, but come on, man. If you don't have it to do it, you gotta pay for promotion. You gotta pay for everything you do, your cover, whatever. You know, that dollar is gonna kill people. And these artists now, instead of them investing their money, they buying things that they probably can't even afford.
I've watched, and Yo, shout out to Bernice. I see you. Yo, James Bowler, he asked a question about the clips. I'm gonna get to that. I just didn't want to interrupt the conversation. Golden State of Mind said people think financial investments is just financial. And that's where people get wrong. And I got this phrase that I used to say when I was going into the office. I was like, yo, you know that phrase, a penny for your thought?
Yes.
So I used to say, I'll take a penny every day than $1 million now. And that was my mind frame. Everybody in this building, I'm gonna take a penny from you every day, from everybody in this building, instead of the $1 million now. And my theory to that was the investment, that the time that I was investing, the relationship and the access was gonna make me a billionaire than just taking up quick $1 million. And I see artists do things like that. They'll get an investor and then they spend $5,000 on a music video, and I'm like, yo, you don't even got a studio. You don't even got studio equipment. You spend $5,000 on the video, $10,000 on the feature. Then you sent it, and then you sent it to World Star for another 2 bands, and you ain't got a recording studio. Like the logic of the investment, and I understand that there is no manual for money. My shout out to my man Shark. Shark used to always say that there's no manual for money, and why I'm saying that is sometimes we look at the concept of investment, but we really don't know what to invest in.
But that's even if you did tell them, Spud, they'll go another way. A lot of times people think, oh, you don't know what you talking, or other people don't know what they talking about. They'll rather pay somebody with a so-called name, which is already booking them. So it doesn't make any sense to invest in things that you have no idea what you're investing to. You know, the music game is crazy. I watch people hit you on IG and they'll ask you, yo, that song is dope. After you say, what's up? Yo, what's your budget look like? Are you dumb? You gotta be real stupid to ask me what my budget... Bro, you on. What's your budget look like?
But even to hear a rapper that's on, and we're seeing the emails more frequent, but it really started down around the pandemic when artists was reaching out and they were like, yo, you dope. I like your joint. Let's work. That's the opener. You come back in. Yo, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your music. Yo, you dope. Yo, what's your budget? And that phrase, what's your budget? I had a problem with the what's your budget. I had a real problem with what the budget was, because then what that was telling me a lot of times, especially if you on, the degree of what you willing to offer is not based on your skill or your supply. It's based on what I could afford. You just trying to take bread. You just trying to take bread. And I see a lot of artists, a lot of people invest a lot of times in the concept of someone blowing them up, in that sense where if an artist is on, they're doing a lot of low level hustling now. That should tell you kind of what the market is looking like. You know what I'm saying? That could tell you what the market is looking like. It's at a real green place. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a slap in the face to ask for money, bro. I know everything ain't free, and like if you feeling the joint and you want to jump on it, it's cool. You still gonna get a percentage of the points on a joint. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't even know what you be talking about when you say percentages or things like that, because they don't understand. None of their stuff is right. You know, I learned that from being around you and certain people. Like, you have to have your paperwork. You have to have a lot of stuff right before you do get points on whatever you're getting.
Now, Ms. J said they need a budget sometimes to show your investment in yourself. Now, I'm gonna explain in depth, because I might have been vague with that. Now, if you come to me and say, Spud, I got an idea. I want to do X, Y, Z. Now, I'm in my rights to ask you, yo, what's your budget? So we could figure out if it's going to work. But if I come to you saying, you nice, I've messed with you, let's work, and then I'm asking you what's your budget, I'm baiting you just to scrap some bread. Now, if you coming to me for a service, I need to know the budget. But if you coming to me to bait me and then ask me my budget, you hustling. It's you hustling.
It's all a game, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
They hustling for real,
It's all hustling, bro. You know what I mean? And that's the part I don't like. When you come to me with this bright idea and insight, and now you asking me my budget, bro. You came to me. I did not ask you to come to me. I didn't say nothing to you. I'm not even coming to you. I didn't do none of that. I can't stand that.
Even the showcases, like I start seeing people, yo, give me $350 for a slot. All right, what's next? You there for 4 or 5 minutes for $350? The main dude don't even talk to you. He might not even come say what's up to you. That's the headliner on the joint.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's a waste of money. I think you'd rather invest in yourself because you do need money. You do need money to invest in yourself.
You do.
So it ain't nothing for free. So you gotta
like that.
You understand? There's nothing for free. So
it costs something.
Everything costs, bro.
Something.
Everything
Time.
the time. All
Something.
that.
It costs
It's
something.
nothing for free.
Yes.
But don't try to rob me, man. You know, if I'm trying to get to a platform where
and do right. Like,
yeah, that's it.
I'm not against play for play. I'm not against it.
You have to, Spud.
Yeah, I'm not against pay for play. Now, but what I am against is you playing me for play. Like, don't hustle me with some rinky-dink situation, promising me what you can't fulfill. Take my bread and then I go there and it's a hole in the wall.
And there's nobody.
Ain't nothing you said. No camera crew. No nothing. Now we got an issue because what I paid for, you just said that to sweeten the pot
Yeah,
for the
string me
sale.
along.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not, you know, I understand you gotta pay. You gotta pay, but you know, people get ridiculous with the prices, man. You know, people get ridiculous and you know, a little bit of money could take you far, yo. Just like the free time. The free time, a little bit of money could take you very far, man. And I like things like that's gonna make sense, man. I'm not just gonna jump on it because you doing it.
Yeah.
You understand? It gotta make sense to me and people who I'm working with, or we doing it together.
Yeah.
You might could throw me something that I might not be like, you know what, maybe next time.
Yeah, true.
And it might slip by my hands.
Yeah.
But it's what I think that it's gonna help us. I'm not just gonna jump because somebody else is on the top. Listen, that's what you doing.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to throw me an alley-oop and maybe next time we go.
Yeah. Bernice said, you know, sometimes people are for self, and that's true. And shout out to Golden State of Mind Tour said, you know, you gotta have packages, and that's one thing I like about the Golden State tour, right? State of Mind Tour is the setup for the packages, right? So just to give a brief, I'm not gonna go in detail. If y'all want to know some more, travel on and check that out. But for like $500, right? You get a 10-minute slot. You get red carpet. You get a mic drop.
That's a long time, 10 minutes. That's a long. Listen, man. I never heard. Now.
You get a 10-minute.
You see, 10 minutes is a long time, bro.
You get a 10-minute slot.
That's a long time.
You get a mic drop. You get the red carpet pictures. I think you get an interview live on the set. Golden State of Mind Tour, please correct me if I'm wrong. And then you get also tickets that if you want to invite people or if you want to sell them at your discretion, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? And mic drops alone be costing $500.
What you mean the
Blackwork?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes all. It's
nah,
all,
listen, that's not. Who told you that's $500, bud?
No, I know it's more.
Oh,
I know it's more. I know it's more. I
was gonna say.
I know it's more. Look,
it's way.
My man like $500. Where that at?
Nah, listen, man. Listen, man. I ain't gonna lie,
my man
bro.
was like, yo, where that at? $500.
I'm sitting next to my man. I you know, we sit here and we start talking I got like a light bulb, yo. Everything like comes to me, and like just like Dungeon Talk, we was sitting there chopping it up one day, and like I told my man, I'm like, yo, I got an idea, and yo, bro, that's the easiest hustle in the world. That's 4 takes for the price you paying, and the video. Listen, man, that's the best hustle in the world, bro. That mic drop. That mic drop is a real good hustle, bro. And believe me,
that's in the package.
Oh, listen, that's a great deal, bro.
That's in the package.
I didn't know that. That's a great deal. Just that alone, just the exposure for that is dope, yo.
That's a
And
package.
whoever the girl Golden, shout outs to her, man.
Shout out to Golden.
She doing good, man. That's a great package, man. And if you could get exposure like that for $500, man, you be dumb as hell not to jump on that, cause 10 minutes is a long time, bro.
10 minutes is a long time.
I know people that charge $300-$400 for them showcases, and you're up there for 3 minutes, bro. They actually cut your joint after the 3 minutes.
Sometimes they don't even label it 3 minutes. You got a song,
and you might be the last one up there, and nobody in the crowd.
Nobody in the crowd.
Yeah, you done wasted $350 for nobody in the crowd, man, and that's dope, bro.
So artists gotta really get mindful on their investment. Because a lot of times, and this is what I'm going to say for every artist that's on, or if you're a friend of an artist, share this with them. A lot of times, artists market themselves to how they like being marketed. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that's wrong. Because they market themselves on the marketing that they like. So they see something, they be like, well, I like how they did that, right? Well, I like how they did that. I'm going to market myself. Not realizing you got caught in a marketing. They marketed something to you. This is why you liked something, and you went around marketing, which means you only marketing to you, not your demographic. You marketing to a strategy that you got caught in, not a strategy that people are gonna be locked into. And I see that every day in business, where people are marketing to themselves, not their demographic, because what you like, your demographic might not like. But I don't know nothing.
And you know what?
I don't know nothing.
I don't know who Golden is, but
shout out to Golden.
I don't know who Golden
SMG.
is. I don't know who Golden is, but she's cheating. She's cheating. I ain't even talking. I forgot. She
shout out to Golden SMG.
Golden got inside. Oh, listen, no, that's no good no more. Golden. You know,
Golden came up with the idea,
and you know what? You got a good marketing plan.
She got and I love the work. I love the work of it all. So shout out to Golden. My man said nah. He said nah.
That's not working no more. Yo, Golden, I'm sorry. I don't know who you are, but yo, all the marketing you doing, I understand. I forgot where you signed to. I forgot. It's cool though. That's a good one. That's cool, Golden. Listen, he can say whatever he wants.
I take no credit.
He can say whatever he wants. It's cool.
I just love the bragging rights.
Yeah, it's cool.
She on her grizzly.
Yeah, listen, that's the way you're supposed to be.
You know what she said? You know, I'm a quote unquote. I'm a big bougie bitch from the West Coast. That's all we gotta know. She big stepping. That's it. She big stepping.
She making it happen.
And I'm bragging about it. Shout out to the crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the crew. But she got a great thing going on, man. She got
500. That's a dope.
She got a great thing going on, man.
That's dope, bro. I ain't know it was all that.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's a dope package, man. I ain't never heard nobody, you know, do a package like that for 500, and that's dope, bro.
500, bro.
That's dope, bro.
I once paid 500 for a concert with the Locks. To be on the bill. It's in Harlem. That's the poster right. Matter of fact, I got the poster right here. I got a small one. I still got the poster. It's a big one over there. But this is right here, and I'm on it right here. Release, shoot, and we performed. This was April 24th at the National Black Theater in Harlem. And I paid 500. I paid 500 for this. This was the most rinky-dink shit in the world.
They came?
Bro, he came like 3 hours late.
Oh, man.
The stage
never fails.
Yo, bro, the stage was like a square. You remember back in the days we had to have like the wax panel to break dance on? That was the stage, bro. And I got into a fight because I was backstage. I ain't gonna say who I got in fighting to with because I actually interviewed them and we squashed it. So I'm not gonna bring up the fight. Yeah. But I stalled on somebody at the show and all that, and it was a lot, but it was rinky dink. But I was looking at the exposure rate, and it could get me in a space where a community of people could be. And did I meet some people there? I surely did. I did meet some place. Despite it being rinky dink, I did meet some people there. That it morphed into something. You know what I'm saying? Some of it didn't, but it morphed into something. So I get the concept, but it's really good to figure out what's what. You know what I'm saying?
Like I say, I will pay. It got to make sense to do something like that. You know, I got somebody that I it's work. It's work, but it's it's coming along. It's coming along. It's dope. I'm learning while we working. I'm learning. I sit next to somebody that helped me understand that nothing's for free, bro.
It's not.
It's not for free,
and it's a duality in work.
Yeah, it has to be, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's a duality. Let me get to Gems Baller. Yo, AR, the artist. What's good, my dude? Going back to that, the Clips album. You heard it yet?
No.
I mean, from when I heard the first single, I was like, yeah, I love it. I was always a fan of Pusha. Pusha stuck to his formula, never changed. I love the album. It kind of was a breath of fresh air. And I think one of the biggest things for me about the album was, even though some of the records can get commercial viewpoints from it, it wasn't a commercially based album. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times artists make music with the concept of growing in a commercial space rather than honing their skills and what they cook. You know what I'm saying?
I like Clips, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I always liked them.
So I really enjoyed the album. It's my. I mean, I bump it every time I start my car.
I like it. I'm actually, when I do leave, I'm actually go put that on and listen to it. But I like real rap, man. I'm if y'all don't know, man, I hate everything, man.
Yes, he does.
I hate everything. He
is the angry podcaster.
I'm not even angry. I just hate everything, bro. And it take a lot.
I must commend him. On his ability to be honest.
It takes a lot, man, and I'm not one of those people that be like, oh, that's hot, or Listen, if you want a real truth, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat nothing. It might hurt you, or it might, it might come out in the wrong way. But I like music, man. I love music, man, especially good music, man.
Yeah.
And the music that's out now, it's like, man, they do need to come back with good lyrical music, man.
And on top of it, I could say this is I got tired of hearing, and I never believed this, that hip hop was a young man's sport, right? I never believed that. I never believed that. Just like they said, women are the biggest market in music. I could poke holes through that all day if anybody wanna go round for round on that. But I like the fact that they were an older, as you could say, an older generation of hip hop doing it. And doing it from their own perspective, their own feel, what they want to do, and how genuine it feels. That even though we had the Killer Mikes who won a Grammy, which I'm not a fan of a Grammy, even though I got something on the wall from them. Even though we had the Killer Mikes, and Nas did it with the King's Diseases and all that, it just solidifies that age in hip hop. The maturity of it can still translate into the talent.
That's the only one that I think that do have the talent.
It's the older.
Yeah, listen, it might to all the people that say all the old heads is listen. They really spit real good music.
Yeah.
And once again, like I always tell you, if my 14-year-old son is listening to your joint, we got a problem.
Yo, Gems Baller, he asked a good question. They asked, can hip hop audience currently understand good music being lyrical? And now, I'm speaking as a executive aspect, like an executive. Now, there's different markets of audience that we get blurred in, right? A lot of artists, independent, we keep looking at the machine's audience. And what I mean by the machine, I mean the industry audience, right? So there's the industry audience, right? Then there's the pure audience. There's a pure audience, and then there's a marketed audience. A lot of times we're looking at the industry audience. So we forget the influence of radio, how much millions of dollars your favorite artist label paid. Like, I don't want to take nothing from Drake. If there's any Drake fans in here, please don't crucify me. I worked very heavily with Republic Records. I can't tell you how much money was invested in radio to make sure the record was spinning. Now, on top of him making some good records, the influence of that created a whole new audience. So people just think it's just that. And this is why the lawsuit is in play, because he's seeing what he was once getting going somewhere else. They all got it. There is no coincidence why there's a certain level of artists that consistently is on all radio stations at the same time. There's a department called radio and promotion. So going back to the question, can an audience recognize hip hop and lyrics? Yes. But we gotta find that market, because we keep knocking on a audience that's not our audience. We keep knocking on radio, trying to crack radio because of what it looks like. We have to find our pure audience.
The radio keep playing it like I don't even understand these DJs no more. I remember DJs used to be real DJs. Now these DJs rocking shows like I think they killing rap, cause they just playing the same music. I don't know if they cool with them or the song is hot. I don't know, Spud, but that's disgusting.
Right now, anyone in New York or in the tri-state, Funkmaster Flex, when he gets on his set, for the whole entire week, I'm not talking about in the past, this whole entire week, there's a song that comes on and he says, I hate this song, but he plays it. And then when it's done, he's okay, now that I got that out the way, let me get to my joint. You know why he said that? Because he got to play the record. He has no choice to play the record, because the program director is looking at all the stuff that got sanctioned for the funding, what they call marketing, because there ain't no play for play. He has to play it. And he verbally says it every time. He says, I hate this song. And he plays the joint. And he don't play just the chorus. He play like the whole joint. And then he says, yo, now that I'm done with that. Now that's out the way. Man, he got to pay for that.
Yeah, but
so that shows you the politics that
it's not helping music though. Like Spud, I swear, like Clips is like, I was young when Clips came out. You know, not even young, but I know that it was good music. You know, these guys now, they screaming nothing, they talking nothing. You know. Not to say it in a bad way, Jim said he was hotter than Nas. I'm like, no, my God, man. Please.
He was just excited.
I don't care how excited he was.
He was excited.
You can't be that. You got to be bugged out.
He's in a lot of young boy conversations.
Nah, you're bugging, bro.
He confused that with everything. You know what I'm saying?
You can't. Listen, we had to talk about that at the table in Baltimore. You know, and we rode home listening to Jim's joint.
Yeah. All I was saying, Jim's matured in his music. That Capo album, like lyrically, he grew into a lyric. That's all I was arguing. The better than Nas, I don't want nobody to think I was over here. No, I ain't saying he was better than anybody. I was just saying he wasn't trash.
No, I mean, I don't know. He was high.
He was high. That too.
Yeah, he might have. He might have.
He was a little nice.
You gotta be like real crazy to be talking about Nas. Like my era was Nas, Jay, Biggie. You know, I like real music, man, and the music they got out now is wow, man. It's wow. You can't even put on the radio. You go to one station, they playing a song that just started on that one, on the other one. The rotations is disgusting.
Yeah.
How do you give? And then to come be an independent artist, to try to come in, how you gonna get yourself in rotation if they playing the same things on every station, bro?
You're not gonna get yourself in that rotation like that. I'm liking Jim's Baller right now. Jim Baller asks some really questions, and anybody know me, I love really good questions. I like being asked questions that I don't want to answer. That's my favorite saying. So that tells you how much. But they ask, are independent artists truly thriving more in today's streaming economy? And they're not.
No.
They're not
at all.
I'm gonna break down where that. I'm gonna break down why they're not. That's amazing. First of all, us. And I'm including me, because I don't want to feel like I'm out of pocket, right? Ooh, Russ is. Ooh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get to Russ. I'm gonna get to Russ in a minute. I love. Don't get excited me. I get excited with this, right? All right. So first of all, one mistake that artists do, right, is we think independency is an option. Yo, I'm going independent. No, motherfucker. We all independent until you get on. That's first one. So get out of making independent a choice. I hear artists like, yeah, I'm independent. Bro, you have no choice. You start out independent. We got this concept that it's a choice that keeps us stuck. That's for one. The second thing, artists that were on there's a few superstars, right? There's a few Mount Rushmore. Then you got the B and C level. The B and C level realize that the market for the independent artists, if you have an exposure rate, they can make some money. So they start trickling down into the independent space, eating up the market because they got a little fan base. So they looking at it like, if I only got 20,000 people who mess with me going to the majors, that'll be a flop. But if I go independent and charge $10 for every 20,000, I'll make money. So what we have is an invasion of people coming into the independent market, eating it up. Now I'm competing, and I'm saying me as all independent artists, now we're competing with basically B, C level major artists, getting rid of their distribution, getting rid of their labels, coming into our areas and doing that. It's eating it up. So the independent artist looks at that. They look at someone like Russ. Ola said, Russ is. It's always Russ is. And now I'm gonna break down Russ. Russ talks highly about independency, but his market is he markets it to the concept of people who think he's independent. Ask him who his manager is, how much money his manager came into the game with, and who his manager paid. His manager was a hedge farm investor for Sony. He was the plug and he had money, but he don't say that. So he got artists talking all this independent stuff.
And he already had a plug.
He already had the plug. It's easy to plug. He says, yo, I skip radio. I skip the middleman. I go straight to radio. How do you go straight to radio? He don't say that part. So he got his whole market is, I'm going to play off the independent artists. And I hate that because I hear independent artists all the time talking about Russ. When he hustling, y'all, because he marketing, that's his whole marketing. Russ, yo, the man was a funder for Sony Records who found him on SoundCloud. I'm sorry, before I go, because I'm just, if Russ kept it real and said, yo, I was on SoundCloud and this money man found me and he invested in me and it can happen to you, I could respect Russ for keeping it a buck about all the millions of dollars that this dude put into him and make that story to the independent artist and be like, yo, it can happen to you. You could get that investor. But no, he acts like he got it from the mud. He did not get it from the mud. He got his whole marketing strategy, got people thinking, yo, I'm independent. Bro, you damn near major, bro. Come on, bro. If you really look up his discography, he was signed to Sony. Bro, come on, bro.
You know what's more wild, Spud? You know, people signed, unsigned, you know.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to discredit. I'm not discrediting his art. What I'm saying is he got a lot of people fooled, not keeping it real. If I get a come up and Nate put $1,000, I'm keeping a small level. If Nate puts $1,000 in my pocket right now for me to get to radio, and then I come before everybody and I'm like, yo, I was in the basement and I was like, forget that. I'm gonna drop a record every month and I'm gonna go right to radio, and y'all could do that too. And I disclude the fact that this man invested money on me. I'm leading y'all in the wrong place. And I watch that every day. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I'm speaking as an executive. Because most executives don't care about y'all. I'm speaking as an executive. I'm glad he got to what he's done. And we all could do it too. We all could do it too. But don't front like you didn't have millions of dollars. And the man who plays golf with the radio stations. Don't disclude that. Tell the truth that you made those connects. Because now you could give the SoundCloud artists some inspiration like, oh, word, I could get noticed. But you skip all that. I don't like that. As an artist, I don't like that. Because artists get fooled.
You know one thing you said that's right? You have to pay the person that knows the other person. You gotta pay. So how much is a stream again?
Oh, some of it's like 1/8 of a penny.
Okay, 1/8 of a penny.
If that, sometimes.
How much you need? Okay, now everybody's exposing the streams, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody, all the artists, everybody. So what are you doing it for? If you can't sell a CD, you can't sell a CD. You can, but you can't. Who listens to CDs anymore? Who puts the CDs in the car?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. So everything you're doing it's not adding up. I watch people sign up people, and nothing gets done.
Yo, going back to Ola, he said, you know, people saying Pusha, the Clips is indie. They not indie.
No.
And a lot of times, independency, if you don't have a major backing, then you're independent. There's no independency with a major backing. It's none. It's no. If you have major backing, that's not independent. If you getting distributed by a major, that's not independent. It's not. I don't care how we look at it. It's not. The Clips is not. And I will argue with any. I like the Clips. I just told her how much they're not independent. No way, nowhere near independent. Nowhere near independent. And there's nothing wrong with not being independent. But the hustle that they feed the independent artists, because that fuels their market. They marketing to us. And I might sound like I'm hating. I'm just passionate because a lot of times we don't see we getting played, bro. And it bothers me because I get to see both ends of it as an artist and as an executive. I be sitting at the table, hearing some stuff. And what I do, I run straight to social media. And I be like, yo, did y'all hear what this and this and this? And people be looking at me like I'm bugging, bro. Looking at me like I'm bugging. But I'm speaking from both ends.
Man, like I said, I sit next to him and he tells me things, and you know, listen, man. myself, I think I got a dope artist. I think the dude
shout out to Tony Bosco.
Shout out to Boss. You know, shout out to Boss, man. And you know, I think Bosco is dope. And it's hard to do things like that. Just to get Bosco to the point where
Bosco said you bugging, spud.
You know, Bosco, I don't know if you never heard Bosco, check him out, yo. Bosco got an album coming out, Concrete, it says very soon. You know, I think Bosco is dope. I always told you that from the first time that I heard Bosco, and the music that I listen to Bosco, not because he's next to us, I don't understand.
No,
that's your era. That's the things that you do. You understand? So when I hear y'all, I'm like, it's no way. It's no way that Tony Bosco or you or somebody else that spits.
It's us finding the market.
And the market is crazy.
No. That market is crazy. We be always competing against a crazy market. That's the problem. We don't take the time. And I say me, I do music because I love doing music. You know what I'm saying? I love doing music. I'm going to do music till I can't speak. So get ready for an 80-year-old spud giving y'all a run for y'all money, because I'm coming every time I got it.
And it's only right.
But we be chasing a market that ain't ours. You know how many times I heard artists say, yo, I like, and I'm just using Russ for an example, right? Yo, I like what Russ is doing, I'm gonna take that. But you don't got Russ's circumstances. Or I get somebody like, yo, how Future drops, right? So I'm gonna take Future's, but you don't got Future's circumstances. We be modeling things that we have partial information on, hoping it work. You know what I'm saying? That's like building a car because you see a Benz outside, y'all build cars, and you don't even know the engine, the transmission. You don't know none of those other parts that it took to make it. You just looking at the exterior like, yo, if I get the car. You building a disaster train.
You know what's crazy, Spud, that you said the radios and all that? I drop my daughter off at school and I meet the dude who run the radio at Hofstra.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So me, being who I am, listen, what you do? Okay, all right. This is how I start moving in the streets. They not asking for money. They not doing that. Listen, if you could bring an artist from other places to the school, I know something could give here. You understand? And that's a start. That's a start. And I know people,
but people want to skip that stuff.
No, you can't. You listen. You always got. How you say? You gotta crawl. You gotta crawl to walk.
You have to.
So you gotta crawl to walk. So if you don't, there's always steps. You know, and I always tell people, just look at the ladder. When you walk up the ladder, the guy is white. When you fall down, the guy is black. Look at the ladder. I always say, them little steps that you doing, there's no need to fall. It's always a step at a time.
But you understand, if you take the steps, you understand. Going back to TikTok real quick, Ola said, you know, if Drake went independent, would it be different? If Drake went independent, he would blow. But the problem with the Drake going independent, and the reason why he probably would never go independent, is because they get so big when you go independent and those numbers significantly drop, but your finances go more in your pocket. It looks like a failure, and a lot of people are signed to vanity and success. The idea of success is fame in the music industry. I saw a lot of paychecks. I saw a check, and I worked with Republic Records. I seen checks. I talked to finances. I talked to radio and promo at Def Jam. So a lot of artists ain't making what we think, but they're super successful.
And that's the best part, Spud.
And that's what. So the concept of going indie looks bad in person. AR said, does it come off like a marketing scheme because majors claim artists are independent? Yes. Again, the biggest, and I'm gonna say this out loud for everybody on, the biggest market for financial growth right now today is the independent artist. You could scroll through Instagram. You got everything supposedly catering to you. There's all the outlets. Everybody got a service, a marketing, an ad, a way to put out music, a way to master your music, the way to make your music better, record from your car, record from your home. The independent artist is the cash cow. That market is a financial boom. There are more people independent pursuing music because everyone who's independent got to pursue music. Therefore, that market margin is always going to forever grow. So labels marketing to that makes sense because what it does, it gives inspiration and support. And if anyone understands the difference between marketing and advertisement, that's a whole nother question. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. We don't understand the difference between marketing and advertisement.
See,
people be advertising all day thinking they marketing. No, you're not. It's different.
See, it's so many things to this. It's so many things to marketing, advertising. It's so much. But, some people don't even put you in the place to market or advertise. They don't even guide you the right place to market or advertise, bud. Yo, do this. Do this. You can keep doing it. Or you might be doing it wrong. You're just not listening. And now with this era of music, something gotta give. This music is not good, bro. This is not good. I hear so much stuff from people that I'm next to that I know if they got the chance to kick that door down, they gonna kick the door off the hinges.
So now the issue is with the concept of good music, right? And I'm what I'm about to say is not Spud speaking. It's the executive speaking. Good music don't get you deals.
Once again, what if you don't want a deal? What if you don't want a deal? You just want an opportunity.
So now to get the opportunity or to get a deal, this is where it gets great. Even if you don't want a deal, you just want the opportunity. You gotta do the same exact things you gotta do to get a deal to get the opportunity. But because people be like, I don't want a deal, they think they could do less to find their market. Or like, Jem said, what's the best way to launch? Because people be thinking they independent, they solely just go to Instagram. Solely, they post their thing on Instagram, they post it a few days, and that's Instagram. That's not even a listenership.
I understand.
There's a whole bunch of shit.
There's a whole bunch of things that you need to do to, as an artist, that you need to do before you, like you say, that platform. That's not the only platform. There's a lot of things that you have to do to finish, to start your. It's a lot, but I'm not saying it's not a lot, but the music that's out is. Listen to me. I don't listen to it, bro. And I know majority of the people don't listen to the music that's out today. They don't. It's not good music. I come up in an era that, like you say, lyrical wise, you gotta have that. You gotta have that. There's not a lot of people in the game that's lyrically dope, bro.
And now, devil's advocate me. If you mumble rap, cool. If you be like, gotta get it, gotta booty, get it, cool. But what I don't like is, don't tell me that's what I gotta do. That's your pocket. That's your pocket. Everyone could have their pocket. But because the skitty scatter goody booty doo is hot, I hear a lot of talented people doing the skitty scatter goody goody body booty boo because they chasing a market that ain't theirs. That's that man's market. You're looking at the rewards rather than the work you gotta do. And it don't go the same. You know what I'm saying? It don't go the same. But if you're an independent artist, if you want the opportunities that come from the music business or the music game to come to you without going to a major, you still gotta take the same steps. There's no skipping the steps. Now there's a few lucky ones that throw a dart in the dark and it hits bullseye. Yes, there's a few lucky ones that it happens. You know what I'm saying? It does. I'm not gonna sit here and say it don't happen. But the work for the typical day to day. Back in the days in the labels, there used to be a big barrel of mail tapes, and every so often they'll tell an executive or they'll tell the intern, close your eyes, grab a mail and play it. And they'll play it. And that barrel was full of talented people. But it was based on who grabbed it, played it, and the climate. The record label was signing someone. That barrel now is online. Social media, Apple Music, Spotify. Now we used to have to compete with one barrel in a label. Now there's barrels all over. There's tons of barrels. There's the Spotify barrel, the Instagram barrel, the TikTok barrel. And it sucks for today's artists today because now a dude will think he popping because his Instagram got mad numbers when your viewerships can't translate to that. You know what I'm saying? I know there's some questions online, so we probably the feed was going up. So Gems, I know you asked a few questions. If I missed, I'm so sorry. It went up, and we're viewing it on a monitor. I don't have the phone in front of me, so. But AR asked a question. Well, Bernice asked. I see it says what matters long term. I'm not sure what that applied to, Gems, but Bernice said, what about artists who are being created over true artists not being recognized? I guess having an artist under you. Yo, I just got a message from Instagram. They said no more free A&R. They said I gotta stop. They said no more free A&R because I go on a tangent because I'm really passionate about it, bro.
You love music.
I love music and I love artists, bro. I'm an artist at heart, bro. All the crazy shit that y'all artists be doing, all the mistakes that y'all be doing, cause every artist on here hard headed. I bet you there's one moment in your creative aspect you could be like, damn, now that I'm mature, I could have did this different. I'm no different. I don't want to act like I'm different, but because I hit my head a few times, I know what hitting your head looks like. So I be so passionate about trying to share that with artists, bro, because when I was coming up, there was people who knew how the head, just hitting your head felt like, and ain't helped me, bro. Ain't say nothing. Looked at me like, yeah, bro, you good, you got it. You hot. And let me hit my head over and over, bro. Over and over, bro.
It's just like I say, Spud, it takes a lot. You have to, if you do have to pay to play, but it gotta be worth to play. And as an artist, you gotta work. You gotta grind. And the grind can't stop. You gotta believe in yourself more than anything. You believe in yourself, things happen. You don't depend on people, don't depend on things. You gotta want it more than the people you depend on.
Yeah.
So
and this is a good one, outside of what if the quality of music changed because artists have to wear many hats. Now, I'm going to share this with artists on there. I'm going to share this with artists. Yes, there's many different outlets now that we got to... The key to that is starting with one viewership and one spot. And one viewership and one listenership. And what I mean by that, we get stuck on viewership. Why we get stuck on viewership? Because everybody just goes straight to Instagram or TikTok, not realizing that those are not listenership platforms. Those are content-based platforms, and your music is just the cherry on top. You know, a cherry looks cute on a cake, but you know what they do when they cut the cake? They move the cherry, y'all. They take the cherry off, they cut the cake. Yeah, somebody gonna eat it, but they move the cherry and cut the cake. That's your viewership. So when you see someone and you're popping on TikTok and they busting moves to your dance and you went viral and you like, yo, my music. No, your music is not bubbling. The event of the content is bubbling. We get lost in that. So I say get one viewership and get one listenership. What the listenership is, where music is listened at. People don't go to Instagram to listen to music. They go through 90% of people go to Instagram and TikTok to do what? Scroll. On the toilet, at work, waiting for your food. We scroll. We are looking. We're not going there to listen. But when we want to listen, you go to your Apple Music or whatever. So I would tell artists, get one viewership that you're focusing on, one listenership, grow those, and then try to expand it. Try to expand. Now, if you can manage all of them and be all over the place, kudos to you. But start somewhere, y'all. Start and understand that. You know what I'm saying? Understand that. And stop asking people for help. And I'm going to say this out loud. Stop asking people for help if you got the answer. I get this all day, bro. If I go to my emails right now,
there's no answer.
What you think about this? Yo, this is what I think. Nah, bro. But I'm. If you got the nah, bro, don't ask me, bro. I done spent an hour with you, bro. And then you gonna nah, bro, me? Because, you know, my market, this is where... Then, bro, do it, bro. I do it. Do it, man.
Listen to me, people. Me? Me?
My man said, me, forget y'all.
I'm going to get this. Just remember I told you this. I'm going to get lucky, y'all. I'm going to get lucky. I'm going to bump into somebody that's going to let me kick the hinges off that door. And when I get that chance, it's going to happen soon, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm going to get in them little whatever meetings and all that. Listen, I don't even know how to probably talk right to them people. They might throw me out a couple of times, but I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it right, man. I want to know. There's a lot of things you got to know and get to, but there's a lot of things you don't got to know.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to answer... Miss Jackson, they on Instagram like, Spud, shut your mouth. But I'm gonna ask one question, and I'm asking y'all a question now. This is for everybody that's on. So please feel free to answer. I would love y'all to answer this question. James Bowler, and like I mentioned earlier, James Bowler been asking some really dope questions. But ask, do most artists in hip hop today truly understand what owning their master is? Right? I'm gonna pose this question to y'all. What does owning your masters mean? Anybody take a stab at that, please. What does owning your masters mean? What does it actually mean? That's the problem. People don't know what that means to own your masters. They hear it and they just think automatically ownership of music, which that's partially true. But they don't understand what that means, what you could do with owning your masters. So please, anyone, please feel free to answer that question. I would love to hear from y'all.
I thought it was your music, you own the shit.
Okay, that's part of it.
I thought it was your music and you own it. If I wrote it and I did it, it's mine. That's how I thought. But I guess there's somebody else under you that's going.
No. That's the basis of it.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
What's good about you owning your music? Like what?
You could sell it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Listen, man. There's too much. There's a lot of rules and things you got to learn about the music industry before you dibble and dabble in there, bro. You understand? So, I don't...
They said you control who plays and uses your music and media. So now I got a question for y'all, right? You control that. You control who plays and does your music or media right now, right? So... Or it says you own it and you get paid for it, right? You own it and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Right? You own it and get paid for it. Now, you own it and get paid for it. How do you get paid for your masters? How do you get paid for your masters? How many artists own their masters? First of all, like big name artists.
Hov.
You know,
Hov just got his
he
master.
just got his master.
Yeah, he just got
Hov
his.
just got his master.
Nas.
And you mean to tell me?
Nas.
You need to tell me, Little Booger from down the block gonna come to me and tell me, walk him into a label and he owns his masters when Jay-Z just got his masters a few years ago.
I know that. I read. See, but Jay didn't know that.
No, he knew right. That's the thing. And I'm gonna break it down to y'all. Real quick. Every independent artist in here right now, every independent artist, and this is what I tell an artist when they say I want to own my masters. Every independent artist on this feed right now owns their masters. Tell me what your masters did for you. Tell me what any independent artist on here right now, even me, any independent artist right now, tell me what your
own your masters.
I own my masters.
But
I know what to do with them.
But this is the problem.
I know what to do with them.
Okay,
Look,
so
Billy said nothing. Thank you.
Okay,
Nothing.
But you know, these people don't know.
Nothing.
So they don't have no idea. There's people that make music and don't have no idea what's going on.
They don't. And let me calm down because that is true. That is true.
You know,
we get the misconception of what owning your masters mean because we want ownership. We hear artists always losing their rights to their music. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick, brief understanding of what masters is. Quick. Back in the days when we recorded to reel. It was like a big cassette tape. It was this big. So all that punching shit we do now, you have to cut the tape and find where you did and tape it, and then put the reel back in and start the reel. That's how it was recorded.
Okay.
So you recorded that way. Once it finished recording, that reel that you had your music on was the master. What the master meant was you have to duplicate from this actual copy. Because every time you duplicated, it lost 1/10 or what, I don't know the number. I don't know. But it lost a quality of the music. So you always did that. Now, who controlled the music? Miss Jackson said, yo, you got to set up a meeting. It's cool, Miss J, there's so much more. But whoever owned the master had the rights to duplicate the music. That was the first thing. Now, fast forward. I ain't going to get too more into that history. Fast forward. The reel is gone. So the concept of mastering meant who owned the rights to do stuff with the music, right? Now, you independent, you own the rights to do stuff with your music. So what you going to do? The idea of owning your masters came from the majors. You know why? Because when the deals came to get your song on a playlist, not even a playlist, a soundtrack, a movie, or something, they didn't go to you. They will not go to you. They will go to your label. They'll go to your label and say, hey, I got this soundtrack. You know what the labels are going to do? Whose masters do we own or have a percentage in? Now, if you own 100% of your masters, why the hell would the label take your music that they have nothing tied to and put it in a position to make millions of dollars? So what they do is they look, okay, we own 100% of this, or we own 50% of this. Are we going to use these artists? And the label brokered deals on the masters. That was the importance of giving a percentage of your masters.
That's a sync deal?
The sync deals and all that. The problem is, when people were signing their deals, they didn't understand that. Now, your masters mean nothing for the first 6 years. As an artist, your masters mean shit unless you super lit, as they say, and your song bubbled and you went viral. That's the only time. But it gotta mature. Now, Jay-Z knew the maturity of his masters would mean something later than early. So I tell artists, stop going to the labels. You know how many deals I sat in? I lined it up for this artist, and then they go in there and say, yo, I want to own my masters. And I'm like, bro, let them have it. 59%. Let them have 51%. Keep 49. Maybe give them 55. Keep 45. That way you always let them work. Let them work, bro. Because you know what they're going to do if they majority owner? They're going to make sure that shit make money. Now, you can own 100% of nothing and don't let these motherfuckers work for you. That's what I be trying to tell them. Yo, understand the game. But nah, ownership. You go online and ownership. Bro, if your masters was that important, Why Justin Bieber and these motherfuckers are selling their whole catalogs? You gotta ask yourself, why is people selling out their whole catalogs if the masters meant that much? If it meant that much, why do they sell it? Now, some people, you want to keep your master, like a Whitney Houston, most definitely. But masters don't mean the same for everybody. It still is basically like a resume. If you got a great resume, your masters will work for you. If not, then you gotta let the labels or whoever's partnering with you, if they own your masters, they work with you. Take me for instance. Even though I wouldn't move that way, if I'm running a label, I'm gonna mess with everything that I'm associated with first. So if a sync coming in, I'm gonna call Golden. Golden signed with us. I'm calling Golden. Yo, Golden is a sync. Blah blah blah. If everything in house is done, then I might go to everybody that I'm cool with. Start reaching out to people that I'm just cool with. That's your master. If the labels have no association to it, why are they gonna give you work? Why would it, when a soundtrack come in, they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna let him do it? No. You know what I'm saying? But it's understanding the game, bro. And that's the part. Like, I see people, you could Google anything, but you could Google how to ride a bike and not understand balance. And that's the music industry. People Google shit, read shit, they can recite shit, and I be like, it's hard for me to explain, like, you're right, what you're telling me. But when you gotta administrate it, it's very different than the way you relaying it. And it's hard to tell an artist that when they just read and they study something, and then it looks like I'm hating or somebody told me I'm pro label, I'm pro majors. I'm not pro majors. I'm pro business. Not pro major. I'm pro big. But I got told that. I got told that on live air.
Like I told you,
I'm pro industry because of what I was saying. I'm not pro industry.
Everything Spud just said, I don't know what the fuck he just said. That's how fast
Aim's on point. Was good.
You understand? He talked so fast right there. You didn't even get the chance to understand because he was tight. Like I told you,
I'm very passionate about this, bro.
That was too much for me to even. I thought he was mad at me for a minute for even. I didn't even know what the hell he was saying. So, like I told you, he good. He good. I just need him to calm down so I get him on the side when he chilling. I can't get him like this. You know, where he could break it down to me. That's my man. He got to break it down to me. I asked him numerous times. He might have to tell me this 3 or 4 times because that was a lot. And he just broke sync, your masters. I thought the masters was the shit that you put out already. Listen, he drops something on me every time.
Man, every artist right now that's on and you ain't signed to a major, you own your masters. And like people, when I asked, what does your masters do for you? And they said nothing. It does nothing for you until you build the accolades for it to mean something. That's just the bottom line. I could put a bunch of words on a paper and go to NASA and be like, yo, this is my resume. They're going to be like, all right, cool, peace. You got to build the accolades, the resume for your master to work. You do. And then you got to find a way to work it because these companies are not going to you. They're going to your label. You know what I'm saying? I get briefs, and it's called briefs. I get the briefs. I get mad briefs for companies, especially being a president at New Oval Entertainment. So I see how the briefs come in. They might like you. They not talking to you.
They don't have to talk to me. I want them to talk to you.
But you know why they won't talk to the artists? Because they doing the assessment through their company or the assessment to the person close to them to figure out, is that good business? Because they're going to come to me. They might like you or they might like artists around me, but they're going to come to me and like, yo, this is what we got. You got any artists? They're not just going to come, you got any artists, because they don't got a concept of that. No, they not. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Right now, we got some sync situations for a movie opportunity right now. You know what I'm saying? They reached out to Miss Jackson. I got a phone call directly. Like, yo, we like what's going on that end. What's the word? So now we trying to work that out. Yeah, they reaching out. They reached out to Miss Jackson. They reached out to me because they see the outlines. But it's rare companies want to go direct. It's rare companies want to go directly to artists unless they're looking at you for a financial situation. It's rare they come directly to you unless they start coming to you and then they ask you your budget. But when it's business, they want a representative. You know why? And I'm going to keep it real. Artists, you got to be crazy. I'm nuts, bro. I'm nuts. I just understand I'm nuts so I can deal with it better. When you don't know you're nuts, that's when you got a problem. But we crazy, bro. We stubborn. We know it all. We have a such a connection to our art. When somebody might be like, Spud, do it this way, man. I'm telling you, automatically. Nah, bro. I got my mindset. I got this vision. We got this vision. We got the blinders because we so close to the attachment. And that's why I love A&R. That's why I was really great at A&R. Because I was able to merge me as an artist, understanding that, and still finding a way to tell the artist or showing the artist where they can go. And I tell Miss Jackson, I tell all my executives now. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to Mike Paul did it. Shout out to CJ. We getting our sync department together. I'm putting that in the universe right now. I don't want to say the individual's name until we sign the paperwork, but I tell them all the time, and I tell all my executives, we gotta always keep in mind we gotta be the liaison. We gotta understand the artist completely, but we gotta understand business because artists and business get great because of the passion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking from an artist. I remember when, shout out to Shark, when he was managing me. Now, was there things I was saying that was correct? Yes, there was things I was saying that was correct. But there was little things that he was saying that I couldn't see and I couldn't appreciate in the midst of it because I was so attached to my music. And later on, I got it. And me as an artist understanding that, I know that happens now. I mean, it happened to me working with artists. And of course, you get angry or you get upset or on both ends, but later on, even me, I learned how to approach artists differently as things didn't go well, because things ain't always go well, but that's how I learned. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learned. If you can't mess up, you don't know the degree of your growth. If you get everything right, bro, you don't know your growth, bro. You don't. It sounds crazy, but you don't. It's when you get stuck in your mistake or your error, that's the problem. But you gotta come out of it or go through it. All my mistakes made me, man. All my mistakes. Shout out to AR. Shout out. There's an artist right now, AR. I'm not gonna go too in depth, but we were working. He just commented. We were working hand in hand. My man that I was up north introduced me to him, and Rock Nation wanted to sign him. Linda Williams at Rock Nation wanted to sign him. And I think the introduction of business, even for me, how I related to him, I don't think we spent enough time discussing the importance of what that meant in business. And then when it came up for that time, it feels intrusive. Now at the time, I was highly upset of it. I felt unappreciated. But growing out of it, I'm like, damn, I'm learning that business has to be introduced, and it has to be introduced on both ends. He said, take it from me, I was young and dumb. Nah, he said I was young and dumb. But I as an executive now, I could even say to me, he said he was young and dumb, but how we approach it on both ends is important. And this is why I stress to my executives now. Like you gotta meet them and introduce it. And you might have to introduce the same thing 20 different ways, especially to an artist. I was one. You got to introduce it. I learned from that. And I don't know if he know, I actually begged Williams. I actually begged her to move forward with signing him without me. I asked, I was pushing, because for me that was the reward of the. I didn't want it to go to, not say waste, but because of our discussion, I ain't the one to be like, yo, it ain't work out with us, F that. I was just like, yo, it ain't working with us. But that was the first time that I heard a label. This is the first time I heard a label tell me, Brandon Williams, we just don't want the artist. We want what y'all had. That was the first time I ever heard that. That was the very first time I ever heard that. And that situation opened my mind, and from then on, that's when people started seeing me at labels. Because it opened my mind, like, it's not just the music, it's the work. It's the connection that you have. It's, you know, it's a lot to it. That opened my mind, bro. It opened my mind. Word. Opened my mind.
I got it, bro.
I mean,
Trust me. I'ma go. This going. You know, I don't think you gave me some good advice today, bro.
I be taking my own advice. Like I told you today.
You gave me.
What I said I was doing exactly what I tell people to do.
Yeah, every day.
I told him, you know, I ain't gonna blow it up onto y'all. I said too much, but I'm doing something. He asked me though. They asking why you doing this, and my exact words to you was, yo, I'm doing exactly what I be chatting about.
Every day.
I putting myself under it. I'm doing what I say because not saying it's the all in. I'm not saying it's the all in, but it's something I really believe. And when I'm sharing something, I'm not just sharing it because I read it. I'm not sharing it because it's facts, or I'm sharing it because it's an experience. Now, it's something I've seen, something I've been through, and I want to share it, man.
And he break it down real nice for you too, man. So he make you understand that what you gotta do and what gotta be done. And people still go pay for their advice from somewhere else.
Yeah. My man Billy Dollar said, for a good non-recoup advance, I'll give up my masters and 25% of my publishing. That sounds like a man who know what he talking about. See, I could sit at a table with Billy's Dollar. Like, I could sit down with him because that just tells me he has a concept of what's going. Like, people don't even know what's recoupable. People don't even know what's recoupable in a situation. You know what I'm saying? And how the money breaks down at the end. Y'all don't make y'all money on the net. You don't get paid from your net. You get paid from, you don't get paid from the gross. You get paid from the net. So if you make $1 million, you got to pay off all recoupable, and then you got to pay off a percentage. She said, no more free A&Ring. And now you about to go into publishing. All right, that's it. My administration of A&R and pulled me up on Instagram, told me that's it. I'm about to go into publishing. You right, Miss J. That's it. No more. No, I'm not going into publishing. That's a beast of its own. And even if I explain it, it might be confusing. But going back to just artistry, this era of information. And this is why I get mad at the Russes, and this is why when I speak on Russ, I might sound like I'm hating. They tell you A, and then they go to D, F, G. They don't tell you the B, C, and then they laying it out like a formula, and then we get so absorbed as passionate creatives to that formula, and then we not knowing we missing steps. That's why it's not working. It might look good, but it's not working. I hate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. Just tell the truth. It's a better story. It's a better story.
Tell you everything you said today, besides the time you was mad. I'm good.
He said besides the time you was mad. Yeah, they said Nate is overloaded right now.
I'm good. He just did something to me that, listen, I couldn't take the other part where he was getting mad, but everything else he said today, I'm good. He made me, now I could go forward. We got to go forward. It's a little bit of things that we need to do. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, work hard, man.
It's gonna happen, bro. Today's part, you said something to me today before we got on, and now I'm starting to understand a little more the concept of forget the Instagrams and do other things like with the music.
Yeah, you gotta like Instagram is cool. I'm not gonna get into Miss J. I'm not getting into now. This is just an example. Like we all heard Cola Ray, girls as players too. I sat at the table when they was deciding what they wanted to do with her project. Right, this is at Republic Records, and I advised them like, yo, y'all should do a female remix. Open up the demographics for her in the other female artists because she came in neutral. It wasn't like she was competing for the Nicki or the Megan Thee Stallion market. She had a market that was clean. So I said, get all those. Get the Nicki, get the Ice Spice, get all of those so we could tag into her market, right? So they said I was bugging because her song did 1 billion on TikTok and it's the #1 song in New York. spin wise. They were giving me all these stats, and this was the first time, kids, you know, this was the first time I said and I used the word, yo, that's just viewership. And they were like, no, it's gonna translate. She dropped her album and it went 15. She sold 15,000. Now you talking about someone who did 1 billion on TikTok. I think she had like 3 million followers on Instagram, and she did 15. And when I went back, I told, that goes back to what I'm saying about the viewership. Y'all gassed. First of all, you cannot gauge a financial concept to a free market. That's like me opening up a restaurant, giving out free plates, and I give out 1 million free plates. And then I say, yo, I got 1 million customers. No, I don't have 1 million customers. I got a bunch of motherfuckers came for free plates. The moment I put $10 on that, watch that million drop. Watch that. And we do this with social media all the time, a free market. You can't gauge a free market to get an idea on a financial gain. It's insanity, bro. If you really sit down and look at the things we be doing as creatives, thinking is really helping us. If you really truly honest with yourself, sometimes you gotta just be like, yo, we bugging. We trying to sell hats in a place they sell pizzas. That's like someone pushing music on Instagram. We trying to sell hats where they sell pizzas. I give you a hat. Yo, buy this hat. Here's a pizza tag to it. And then I'm saying, yo, I move mad hats, bro. No, bro. They eating pizza. That's content. People love content. They want to watch content. Your music is attached to it. Now, does it introduce you to a demographic? Yes, it does. But that ain't your demographic. That's the people who even nosy, a few family members, a lot of people who just scrolling, might like it, might not even hit like, just saw it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring back your listenership, bro. And I hate people saying, you gotta be a content creator. You don't gotta be a content creator, but you gotta know how to use the content to drive it to your creation. That you gotta use the content to drive it to your creation. Don't be just a content creator. Because if you're just a content creator, you ain't gonna be an artist. I could put my money on that. I'll put my money on it. If you're a content creator, just a content creator, you ain't gonna be an artist. It ain't gonna work.
So you telling me my album ain't gonna sell now?
Bro, don't be a content creator, bro. Make content to draw them to your creation. But if you draw your content and you come here, no. It's like throwing a house party, but your restaurant's in the back, and you don't bring them to the house party, and then say, yo, y'all hungry? I got food in the back. You just think people coming to the house party, and just because you got food in the back, people gonna go? No. They're gonna go there, they're gonna dance, drink, and leave. You gotta find a way to draw the people back to the other side. So use content to draw them to your creation. Stop trying to be a content creator, bro. That's a whole nother job. That's a job specifically made for people who have no commitment to the service, but are great creating the interest of it. You think the people who make the commercials love your product? You think if I go to any broadcast commercial place and get ad space and say, yo, make a commercial for Shoe Studio right now, they're gonna make an amazing thing. That's the content creator. He has no attachment to this. No. But you gotta draw that, man. So create content to draw them to your Don't get stuck being a content creator. You'll be stuck.
I'm stuck.
I think that's it for today. But shout out to everybody. Man, we started out one way and it went. This always happens. So what do you push? What push said. Sorry, I read that completely. My dyslexia came in right there. I'm not sure what Push said. Natalia was good. I'm not sure what Pusha T said, but he be saying a lot of dope stuff. But I see a lot of us getting stuck in content creation. You know what I'm saying? Tagging our music to fights. You know what I'm saying? Tagging it to fights, tagging it to different things, and yeah, it's gonna draw attention. But are they really checking for your music? Sometimes I hear labels are pushing artists to be content creators. Is this true? Yeah, labels push you. Labels push you to do content, but the idea of content creator, right, just means you are a person who creates content. Right, you create content. Now, as an artist, you want to give them. All right, peep this. I'm gonna give y'all a quick inside of me. The other day, I normally post reels. I post my shows. Me and Nate, Monday night show, the A&R desk. I push that. I know y'all get tired of that shit.
I don't.
Y'all probably could. He don't. But I know there's someone on here that see the show, ain't hit like, ain't even let me get 2 words out of it, and they scroll past it. I know that. So what I do is I do a dry spot. Some weeks I don't post nothing about it. So starting this week, last week I did some. This week I didn't. But you know what I did this week? This week I was in the studio. There was someone with me. They were taking mad pictures. I was like, you know what? Send me those pictures. And then I put those pictures out just as a carousel, as they call it. I put those pictures out to interrupt. And what I did with those pictures, I wanted to give them an insight of me in my workspace. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I was doing that day. So there's one picture of me reading something. I was actually reading it to the person who took the picture. We was in here listening to the music. I was just chilling. They took mad pictures. And I used those candid things. Now, was that content creating? I created content. But I used that moment to show you an inside of me. So it still relates. I see people making content that don't relate. It don't relate. They making content. They do music. I'm an engineer. I'm a music dude. Imagine me making content and it's just at a strip club. That's not related to what I do, but it's gonna draw an attention. I can easily pay $100. Tell some girl, yo, twerk for me in this video behind my music, and I could imagine it blow. Mad people checking it. That's not related to what I'm doing. But that's content creating. But you gotta create content that's related. So labels will tell artists like, yo, bro, we gotta build a persona of you, whether it's true or false. We need to see it inside of you. And that's all my content is. If you look at my page, I post industry stuff. I'm so terrible with it. I post beefs of the labels when they even DM me or text me. I post a text message. Them saying, yo, Spud, please. And then I post me saying, yo, y'all know I'm gonna post this, right? And they be like, Spud, you crazy. And what does that do? It's correlated to me when I always talk music stuff. And yeah, I do it to show you that I'm really talking to these people. But I also use that as my marketing to what's related to me because it's really related to me. But I could use a whole bunch of different content. You know what I'm saying? I could get the chick. You know what I'm saying? I could count money or have money rolled up my arm. Or whatever they be doing now. And I could do all that, you know what I'm saying? That shit look good, but is it really related to who you are? And that's what artists gotta do. When you're making content, find a way to relate it because you're building a persona. And the viewership, back to viewership, the viewership follows to what you put out. So if I put out mad twerking videos with my music behind it, and I'm going into 1 million views or 1 million people, are they really checking my music or it's the content? So now I build a whole market that I'm not even marketing music to. I'm building a whole demographic that I can't give away a free t-shirt. They don't want that. They want to see Mercedes busting it open. That's what they want to see, Mercedes, not me. You know what I'm saying? But I see this every day with social media. People marketing to a demographic that they don't even want. But they like the looks, the like and the views. They get lost in the like and views, and that's how you become a content creator. Because that's all it's about for a content creator. Like and views. Getting some people to like it and interact with it. But it might not be what you want. Alright, I'm done. I'm sending invoices out. I'm sending everybody who's on, I'm sending y'all invoice. I'm sending y'all invoice.
I'll take it.
I'm sending y'all invoice. But I'm going to leave y'all with this, man. Because I ran my mouth enough. If you do find someone that you mess with, she said now we're teaching content creators. Alright, Ms. J, I'm done. But if you do come around somebody who you appreciate, someone you could trust and y'all could build a relationship, whether it's a manager, a label, a partnership, a team, a co-writer, whatever it is you could do, don't be fear y'all to grow in that. Y'all gonna have this script. One thing I like that Ms. J does, like anybody anybody, people trying to go live with me right now. I'm sorry, I can't go live with y'all. But one thing Miss J does that I really like, because she says she's not the easiest executive to work with. She's very on it. But one thing she does is she targets it head on, and she always tells people this, like, "Yo, I know we're gonna come to a disagreement. I'm just and I love that, because you gotta grow out of that. Because in a workspace, when that disagreement comes, that's what solidifies the situation. I can't tell you how many times I'm quick. Miss J, you say if I'm lying. Something to happen and Miss J be like, "Yo, we doing this." I be like, "All right, so are we cutting this up?" I'm quick. Like, yo, this is a dub. If you don't want, I'm quick. I'm real quick. Like, that's a dub. No, like, it's over. It's over. But I like that. I like that, and I'm sharing this with every artist and everybody, not just artists, partnerships and workplaces. If you find someone that you appreciate, and they appreciate you, and they giving you some energy, and y'all growing, take that time to grow with them, y'all. Like, stop fast forwarding this shit. Take that time to grow. And if y'all come across a discrepancy and you feel that person, put your pride aside and ask yourself, is this relationship worth it? The duality, and if it is, talk about it, work through it, man.
But if they pride can't go to the side,
that's the hard part. If you,
yeah, that's the worst part.
That's the hard part.
Okay.
Yeah. If your pride.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
see
that's the failure. That's the failure.
That's the failure. If your egos don't listen, that doesn't work majority of the time.
It don't. But I'm gonna keep reiterating it.
We can love each other. But there's always a love hate, and if the things are not going right the way they supposed to, bro.
AR said, what I'm hearing is it's about standing on brand with your content. I got a whole long ass conversation I could talk about branding. We doing that wrong. Half the people, not even half, majority of the people doing that wrong. So, but we ran a good amount of time.
This Dominican. I gotta go.
My man, yeah, he gotta run. We've been on the show for a little minute, man. But again, y'all, keep safe, man. Keep creating. And, be passionate about what you do. Don't forget to keep growing. And everybody on TikTok, I know we keep looking up because the monitors to read is up. So excuse us for looking directly at y'all, but it's up. But I'm Spud Brooklyn.
I'm Nate.
This is Dungeon Talk. We be here every Sunday between 7:30-ish.
7:45.
Yes, and we just bring living room conversation, man. We talk on different topics, different things, man. So always feel free, and much love to everybody who hung out with us and shed love, ask questions. We feed off that, man. So Golden, I want to send a big shout out to the whole SMG squad, and I want to send out to everybody who spend their time with us. I appreciate it, man. Much love. Y'all have a good night. Be safe and keep passionate. But we out. Your Instagram. Much love.
Papi, yo vengo como 10 minutos.